Cheers, everybody. We are back live on the scene at Gaspar's Liquor Store in Tampa. And what did we just do? What are we doing here today?
Store pick.
We did our first bourbon on a budget store pick, and you know that it best have been Blue Note. Juke joint, uncut.
I was very impressed with that.
Hey, if you want to impress your guests, you're whipping out a Blue Note.
You're whipping it out. You're whipping it out.
Yeah,
That's
whip it
what
out.
you're doing.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
So, all right. So we're sitting around drinking now. We just finished our first store pick. Thanks to the good folks, Jimmy and the folks here at Gaspar's, for helping and collaborating with us on this. Ben, walk us through
the whole process.
Walk us through the entire.
Just pass it over
start to finish.
People are probably wondering who this is over my left shoulder.
That's true.
Yeah, we've just got an extra person sitting here with us today. From Blue Note, Jen, thank you for hanging out.
Hey guys, it was a pleasure meeting you. Thanks for inviting me to be part of your group, and with the pick, I'm glad you guys found something you really like. So.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us a bunch of bourbon to taste.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Brendan's a mooch. So we'll come back. We'll talk with Jen in a minute. Ben, take us through the process. Talk to us about what we did today.
Man, it was a awesome experience. So, for those who don't know, store picks are basically you are sampling multiple barrels of whatever product you're choosing. Today, like I said, was Blue Note. And we were able to sample 5 different barrels of varying proofs, taste each of them, and kind of choose whatever flavor profile best aligned with what you liked. And I'll tell you what, everyone's convinced that they have the best palate, and you come in here and you think, man, I'm ready to rip. But those 5 Glencairns come set out, and you gotta say, all right, this one's a little better, this one's a little worse, this one's a lot better, a little bit worse, and it's a interesting, challenging experience. We ended up trying all 5 of them. There was a couple ones that we knew we didn't like, a few that we knew we did like. None were amazingly terrible or amazingly great, right? But we got down to where we had 2 left that we thought were, these are going to be the ones that we choose, and we went blind. We said, all right, write your answer down, and we all chose unanimously number 4.
Yeah. Same pick. Brendan, were you nervous at all going to this?
Oh yeah, I'm always nervous, so this is kind of
this is part of the course.
Yeah, that's constant. So yes, it is intimidating when they bring out the 5 different samples for you to try, because you, like Ben said, you want to make sure you're picking out the right one, and everyone's got different palate and flavor profiles that you want to try to pick out. But it was really important, I want to say, for us to pick Blue Note for our first store pick, because Ben really kind of introduced us to Blue Note, a couple months ago?
Yeah, it was one of the the best store picks that we've seen at the price. I would say the value proposition with Blue Note is far above.
He loves those kind of
I love
he loves mixing stuff.
I love the value and the it's
$1.
So
Can we get $1?
Right? But the reason we found it is because Jimmy had a great first round Blue Note pick, right? And so I think we're going to be on round 3 for Gaspar's. Shout out Gaspar's again. Hello. That's where we're at. But we had a great first round. Now this is round 3. Ready to go.
That's true.
So great.
No, I agree. When they put the 5 Glencairns out there, you're like, we all worked on them individually, right? Took our notes, tasted things by ourselves, and you're like, man, I don't want to be the one fool that picks the one thing that everyone else hates.
Yeah,
it's true.
But to me, that was one of the cooler things, was that we all kind of eliminated the same ones at the same time. When we went to the next round, we all kind of we were down. So this means nothing to you if you're watching or listening, but 2 and 4 were what we ended up with at the very end. 4 ended up being the winner, but we all got down to 2 and 4. We talked through and kind of made it a group effort, because we did want to be in lockstep of picking the same thing. And so it was neat to get down to 2 and 4. And then at least at that point, I was like, wow, at least I got this 60% right. I eliminated the 3 that nobody else wanted.
It was nice to all be on a similar page. Yeah. That was cool.
For the first time in the history of the show, Ben understood the assignment.
Right.
That's true.
That was cool.
That's really good.
We're
Proud of you.
You're into this.
Yeah.
And Ben kind of got it. So, all right, I want to take this to Jed. Jed, thanks for bearing with us while we made all of our stupid inside jokes and everything else. Again, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you for helping us with this. Talk to us a little bit about the survivors. What does that mean? You guys see the picture on the side here. talk to us about the survivors. Let's start there.
Okay, so first of all, thanks guys. I appreciate that you have become fans of Blue Note. We're really, we're starting out, we're new, and we've got a lot of good momentum and a lot of people really becoming fans, and I really appreciate that. So, so the barrel you selected, so we partner with a distillery in Kentucky, and the Rick House, which is the storage facility which the barrels are being held in, for the barrel that they selected, and actually the samples, all the samples you had today were involved in a small accident. So in 2019, there was a tornado that came through the area at our storage facility, and it knocked the warehouse down, the Rick House down. So all those barrels fell to the ground, were out there exposed to the elements for about 4 months. So they tore down the rest of the Rick House and had to go in one by one and take a crane and pull each one of those barrels out to see if they were viable. So the samples you had today, all of them were out there in those elements for about 4 months. And the unique thing with that is that each one of those samples are dramatically different, right? So from the proof, from the flavor profile, lighting wasn't great in there, but some of them you can see, some drastic or just minor color differences, but for the most part they're not the same, and you can really tell that extra little bit of time out there in the elements really made a difference with the barrels. So they even though it's a 3-year Kentucky straight bourbon, it drinks much more mature, and again we believe that it's just a great value for the quality of what you get in the glass. So I think the proof that you guys picked was a 118, right? A flat 118, which is fantastic. So again, flavor profile on that. It's got a nice amount of corn in it. It's about 70% corn in the mash bill, so it's really approachable. Has a good amount of sweetness, but not overly sweet. And that even though at that high proof, it's still really drinkable to have straight.
Yeah, we fell in love with it, and like you just talked about, and we'll plug you as you do as well. The proof and price and the actual product. That's a lot of alliteration there at one time, but that was good off the cuff. I've been thinking about it for a minute.
Sure.
But the proof, the price, and the actual flavor, the flavor profile that you get, that's what made us fall in love with Blue.
Sure.
We told you this inside and for the camera too. We have gotten a couple of opportunities to do different picks, and we said, no, we're going to wait for Blue Note. Yeah. We're going to do it. We want Blue Note to be our first one. Now, we are going to go to other picks too.
I understand.
But we wanted you guys to be our first one.
We were first. Yeah. So if you're not first, you're last, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we were excited to do this pick with Blue Note. We're very appreciative. Talk to us a little bit about Blue Note just in general.
Sure.
And we'll stop wasting your time.
Yeah. So we were established in 2017. We're based in Memphis, Tennessee. With the label, you can tell that everything is really paying homage to all things about Memphis, that culture there, birthplace of rock and roll, the home of blues music, and so that's the tie-in with the name Blue Note. The actual selection that you had is what we call our Blue Note Juke Joint Uncut Bourbon, and it's a 3-year Kentucky straight bourbon. Uncut being kind of that play on things where it's uncut with any water because it's cast strength, and then kind of like that gem and uncut record that's out there. So that's kind of the tie in there. Again, we're really new. We're just getting going. We've got some really good press behind us, and thanks to guys like you really becoming fans, the word of mouth has been fantastic.
Awesome. Love the Crossroads that we tasted as well beforehand. You guys know that I like anything finished in a toasted barrel, and so the Crossroads is just absolutely down home plate for me. Talk to us about what's next. We picked a barrel today.
So you want the unsexy behind the scenes?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Just what's next, and what kind of timelines we can expect, and when people can kind of get their hands on this, and what's next.
Okay. So kind of our process is that the barrels samples, the allocation of barrels that I had for this particular time of the year are sitting on reserve for me for the state of Florida in Memphis. So they have my name on it. They'll eventually have your name on it. But they're just waiting for it. So it's literally sitting in our storage facility in Memphis, ready to be bottled. So I'll partner with our distributor here in the state of Florida, Breakthrough Beverage. They'll create an item number that'll come to Gaspar's because that's your partner. And as soon as we get everything kind of going on the the logistical kind of behind the scenes stuff, we'll go to bottle, and then we'll reproof. So as I kind of told you guys before, there's a slight chance that it couldn't be 117.9 or 118.1, just because we have to proof it every time we take any of the samples out of the barrel. So we'll reproof it, and then we'll hand label everything, put your sticker on there, and it'll be packaged up and shipped to Florida. So hopefully here In the next couple, maybe 3 months, you'll be able to have your own your first barrel pick.
Awesome. Well, we're excited for it. A few months away, but it's going to be here at Gaspar's Liquor Shop here in Tampa, Florida, right past the corner of Bush and 56th Street, Temple Terrace area. They're going to go fast. These went fast last time. Ben's going to buy about a quarter of the barrel, so like you better be here to get some. Ben has been crying over the last month that he has no more Blue Note from the last time that Gaspar's did the pick. So we're excited for it. Let's do this. Let's get out. What was the big, and we'll talk more about tasting notes and different things, especially when we get the bottle and we can review it. What was big about sample number 4 that made the difference for you, Ben? Then Brendan, then we'll get out.
Definitely. One thing that I enjoy about a lot of the Blue Note profiles is it's like some creme brulee, caramel, vanilla, like custard creaminess on their profile, and I think I get a lot of that in our pick. And so when people hear 118 proof, they may think it's gonna be straight gas, straight fire. This is
not at all.
Cream and sweetness and sugar and vanilla. So I'm very excited to bring that to you guys listeners because I think it's a great product.
The nose on this one, and I'm gonna let Brendan pitch it. The nose on this one stood out as a very sweet, a very creamy nose. Sorry if I just stole all your thunder.
Oh, everything I was going to say. Thank you.
The nose stood out on this one far above the other 4, and the flavor profiles were all kind of in the same ballpark. Talk to us about the taste on number 4 and we'll get out.
Coffee with cream is one of the notes I put on 4, and that was distinct and different from the rest of the entire group of 5. So it was vanilla, it was caramel. We'll talk about all these tasting notes more, but also had like a nice amount of spice. To me, I think balance is what comes to mind. It was the most balanced of the 5.
And complex.
Ooh, 2 full points for it when we scored.
It's a 1 point thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, don't miss when this comes out. Going to be good stuff. 2-3 months, as Jed said, we will tell you when it comes out. These do not last long. Appreciate you for hanging out. Brendan Snow, Ben Cock, I almost forgot your last name. Gaspar's Liquor Shop, Jimmy and the good folks over here. We appreciate you guys. Remember, no budget.
Cheers.
Cheers.